Hi everyone, welcome to Moon Sanctuary. My name is Belle, and Moon Sanctuary is a safe place to discuss twin flame unions, spirituality, astrology, and unconditional love. So right off the bat, I do have a channeled message from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine, and the message is, I look for you everywhere I go, especially places that I know that we've gone together or that you would go to alone. I especially look for you when we're at places where we have mutual friends. Sometimes I even attend parties and social gatherings that I know that you might be at just for the chance to see and run into you. You don't know how hard it was for me to let you go. Although I did think about my decision, I contemplated over it for a long time before I made the decision. All the contemplation that I did to let you go didn't make the actual act of letting you go any easier. Although my life may look good from the outside looking in, I really just feel like I'm hiding behind material things. The material things that I have in my life are not bringing me the same fulfillment that you and this relationship brought me. Alright, so that is the channeled message that I got from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. But of course we have more messages here. Let's go ahead and jump right into the tarot. I do use astrology cards to clarify the tarot. So the first card I got was the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, like I always say, is the character that is really emotionally open. This is the character where it was like before your first love, before your first heartbreak. When the first time love came into your life, you were able to fully open up to it, fully let go, fully embrace it for what it was. And then of course, as every relationship begins to progress, the honeymoon stage kind of ends and different fights can come up or different disagreements can come up. That is just a natural thing. That's even natural for friendships. So this Page of Cups character makes me think of the innocence of the first love. And even if you're not your Divine Masculine's first love, with this card coming up first, this is what is heavy on their mind. This is like, although you may have not been their first love or their first relationship, they did get that same feeling around you. I'm seeing like a roller coaster in my mind's eye right now. So your relationship could have felt like a roller coaster where there was moments of times, glimpses of times where this like innocence came back into your relationship, where you guys were like laughing hysterically with each other, where you guys were just making your funny little jokes that nobody else would understand, and just seems like you and them just alone in a bubble of a world together. So that is the first thing I'm getting, but let's get a clarification card. So I did get Aries, impulsive, hot-headed behaviors. So maybe when you guys did have arguments, it was pretty hot. And this is also telling me like there's a need to cool the emotions between you two. I'm also getting like the full moon with that. And actually I got Mars under the Page of Cups. Mars actually does rule over Aries. So I feel like when you guys did fight, it would get really hot, like really argumentative. And honestly, the Divine Masculine in this situation contemplated for a long time letting go because there was all these good times as well that they didn't want to let go because of heated arguments. But it seems like you guys were butting heads so much and just not understanding each other, and this separation is really for letting go of some of those angers, some of those arguments, and to really cool down your emotions. Because actually, like I said earlier, I am also getting the full moon on the table here, so it's kind of showing like really heated emotion. I'm just getting the word impulsivity over and over again. So it's almost like if they triggered you, you would immediately get triggered back and reciprocate, rather than being able to slow down and take a breath and really breathe it through and not react. These separations are really painful for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. It just seems like right now, if you guys were to continue on the path that you were on the last time you guys saw each other or right before this separated, that it would have kind of came to a point of no resolution or no return. They wanted to just, instead of risking that, just take this time apart. But of course, like I said, they still look for you wherever they go, hoping to run into you, hoping to see you at a mutual friends party or get together, or just a place that you guys have gone together a lot, whether that's just like a grocery store or a department store or anything like that. They just kind of hope that they'll see you there. It could even be a coffee shop or a library or anything like that. They just hope they'll run into you so they can kind of like casually start a conversation with you. But since it's in public and around other people, there would be no fight that came up. There would be nothing where it can get to the level it would where you guys were alone. So that is definitely what what I'm seeing here. And also, really quick note, twin flame relationships do trigger each other a lot. Like, they are your biggest trigger essentially, because they're trying to trigger everything to be released. So when I see twin flames constantly fighting, and also usually about the same thing over and over, it shows me that there has been a trigger on one or both sides that has not been fully released. So sometimes I get comments, you guys, on my videos of people getting really upset that I only channel messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, but I am not doing like genders. I'm doing a energy within you. And to be honest, you know, this is going to be hard to hear for probably some of my divine feminines, but a lot of the times when we go through trauma or when we go through anything that's tough, we do step into this masculine state, which forces our divine masculine to fall into a feminine state. Really, it could be you. It could be you that is like needing to hear these messages, and it's always good to self-reflect. We can't blame everything on the other party, and sometimes these messages are for both parties. So I just wanted to say that because I'm getting a lot of Mars energy on the table, so it's hot, it's heavy, and it's really passionate. It can be resolved. It can be resolved by cooling down your emotions and just trying to embrace the flow of life. So what I mean by that is, if we see repetitive patterns, we're not gonna just keep repeating. We're gonna take the separation period and really analyze ourselves and our partner and try to cool down the emotions, and also embrace the fact that we're in the separation as a time period to rest, relax, and really contemplate about our part. Okay, so the next card I got is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a very ambitious and action-oriented king. It is a fast-thinking king that has a lot of intellectual power, mental clarity, authority, and truth. So I feel like the divine masculine, or it could be you as well, is really trying to get mental clarity on this entire thing. And the astrology card I got here was house 3, which is Gemini's house, which is also the house of communication. And the card says early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. Like I said, the King of Swords is a rational thinker as well. So I feel like this king, this divine masculine, is just trying to think rationally about the entire situation and think about a way to communicate where it's not going to get hot. It's not going to get heavy. It's not going to get super passionate, because they want to just have a calm conversation about whatever topic it is that you guys have been disagreeing on. Because to be quite frank, I do see that there has been disagreements, like a lot of disagreements, honestly, on the table, and it has made you guys feel really left out of each other's lives, really like isolated and in worry, because you're kind of on the outskirts of each other's lives right now. And that is really symbolized by getting the 5 of Pentacles here. So let me get a clarification. Okay, Capricorn, to clarify that. So ambitious, realism, methodical steps. So Capricorn does sit in the 10th house naturally, and this is about our public recognition, and also with the message I got earlier of the divine masculine hiding behind material things that are not necessarily satisfying to the divine masculine, but he just feels like on the outside of your life emotionally, or he's pushing you away emotionally, and therefore to try to fill that void, he has been buying material things, or she, remember, not really gender roles, but more an energy. It just shows me that to fill that void, they are buying material things and trying to fill that void. I feel like a healthy way to channel this energy, if this is you, divine feminine, is if you, yes, focus on your goals and your creations and your ambitions and everything like that, but not just frivolously wasting your money buying things that you don't need, because I am seeing a divine feminine, and honestly even divine masculine in my mind's eye, just like online, just scrolling and buying things that they really don't need. So we're getting the 8 of Wands next, and the 8 of Wands does talk about movement, fast-paced change, alignment in air travel, and even this represents a message to me. 8 of Wands. Alright, to clarify the 8 of Wands, we are getting the Libra card, which is naturally sitting in house 7, which is our one-to-one partnerships. And this is talking about consideration, fairness, and harmony. So this is what they want. The divine masculine just wants consideration between you guys, harmony between you guys, and just like thinking fairly between you guys, because I feel like in the fights, it was like a tit for tat type of thing, type of energy, where it's really hard to get a point across. And it's like, reminds me of the quote of, we listen to respond, we don't listen to hear. So I feel like you guys weren't really hearing each other out. You guys were more just like responding to each other's triggers and triggering each other further. If you're actually divine feminine, I do not recommend reaching out to divine masculine. That is just my personal recommendation, like friend to friend. If we were actually just with each other right now and you're venting to me, I would likely tell you not to reach out to divine masculine, because divine masculine energy should be the one that pursues. And now I am kind of jumping into the gender roles thing thing. But for my divine feminines that know that they have been in a masculine energy, if you continue to chase, then you will actually be continuously in that masculine energy. So it's the masculine energy, and whoever is the defined divine masculine in your relationship should be the one to pursue. And I don't want my divine feminines to pursue, because it just shows that you haven't done the inner work, the inner healing to go forward yet, to talk to each other yet, to be honest. The next card I got is the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is really emotionally balanced, very, very diplomatic and compassionate to everyone around him. He is the king that has like turbulent waters behind him and a bunch of just crazy stuff happening all around him all the time, but he's able to maintain his cool. This is why I feel like you guys have had some turbulent waters and turbulent emotions come up in your union, and the divine masculine is just trying to get into control. So the message is not going to come until the divine masculine gets in control. And instead of worrying so much about what the divine masculine is doing, what he's not doing, divine feminine, I would definitely look inwards and figure out what can I do if he does come through, if he does reach out, and when he does, make it a mutual, respectful conversation. So let's get a clarification. Okay, I got 2 cards here. I got the Yin card in House 10. Okay, so House 10 is coming up again because Capricorn came up earlier, and this is just talking about having structure and discipline, actually. This is your life mission, accomplishments, career. So instead of focusing so much about this relationship and the emotions that come with our relationship, I would really recommend, to help you turn inward, is to focus on yourself and your own career and just your own life, and also to silence your mind. So I always recommend to my viewers, my friends, my family to meditate. And I know a lot of people think that meditation is hard, especially if you're not an avid meditator, because you just sit there and you're just like thinking the entire time and you feel like you're supposed to be silent. It actually isn't that. You can think about whatever you want. The only thing is that you're observing, and when you notice that your thoughts are wandering or spinning, that you're just observing and trying to gently guide yourself into just observing again. So you would sit up in whatever comfortable position that you like. So you could go ahead and look up the different asanas that you could sit in. Really, you just either close down your eyes, but if you find closing your eyes is too hard, something I recommend for beginners is lighting a candle and actually just sitting down in whatever position with your back straight and focus on the flame of the candle for 15 minutes. Usually I recommend like 5 minutes, but since it's like an open eye meditation and everything like that, 15 minutes is probably the best. And you're basically just trying to get your mind to focus and zone out on the fire flame. Other thoughts will come as well, but it's best actually if eventually you can silence the mind and really kind of detach yourself from all these turbulent emotions that you're feeling. Continuing on, I also got Yin, and the Yin card is about intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. So make sure when the divine masculine does come back in, if you're the divine feminine or if you're a divine masculine watching for the divine feminine, regardless, make sure that divine feminine is in a Yin state, a readily receptive state for your energy. So this is just, like I said, meaning that you're ready to have a calm conversation. You're ready to be calm and hear each other out and be in a calm state. So the Yin signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. Those could be your signs, or they could just be signs that are heavy in divine masculine chart as well. So that is the main message that I'm getting here, just like cooling down the emotions and kind of going with the flow of life wherever you're at right now, clearly in a separation, to take that time, that alone time, to really connect with yourself through meditation, through even getting outside. Maybe some of you live near a beach, because I just saw the beach in my mind's eye, and you can go there even though it might be cold right now. I don't know where you live, but if it is like a sunny day by chance, I would really take up that opportunity to just go out there and really center yourself, or anything that centers yourself. For example, if you're interested in astrology and you haven't really like looked up your chart and looked into your chart, maybe you could start looking into the stars. Maybe you know like your big 3, but you don't really know anything about the house system, you don't really know anything maybe about the aspects in your chart. Maybe it's time to just dive deep into yourself in particular and get that alone time, look into yourself, get in touch within yourself, and not focus so much externally to the divine masculine right now, because it's going to be counterproductive. If you guys are truly twin flames or even high level soulmates, because I know sometimes high level soulmates tune into my channel, you setting them all that energy, they can feel it. Absolutely, they can feel it, and it actually kind of repels them further away, especially if they're not ready. And in my mind's eye, I actually just saw a frustrated child. In the vision that I just saw is like a mom kind of nagging at a child, and the child like is getting increasingly frustrated and not really being so responsive, and then therefore I'm seeing like the mom kind of nagging more and more, but it just pushes the child further and further away. So that's kind of like what's going on right now. So you don't want to keep pushing and pushing, even energetically. So you want to just take your mind off of this the best you can. It is okay to watch readings, it is okay to get these messages because it helps us calm down, but you also have to take the main point of my message. Yes, I'm channeling the energies, yes, I'm channeling what the divine masculine is feeling, but we don't want to focus on what he's feeling. We want to focus on cooling our own emotions down, embracing the flow of life, getting that alone time, maybe looking into the stars, meditating, getting in touch with ourselves, and really focusing on ourselves. Because when you focus inward, they will focus inward energetically as well, and get to that calm state where you guys can potentially connect again. So that is the best thing to do, okay? So the last card that we got here is actually the Death card, and the Death card is Scorpio energy. So one of you or the other of you could have that energy in your chart. The Death card is talking about endings and change, transformation, and transition. So of course there's been an ending between you guys. There is a separation right now, but this could also mean a transformation of energy between you guys. So instead of all of these hot, heavy emotions, all this defending oneself emotions, we can change that and just try to understand each other. So let me get an astrology card though too. I'm getting the sun. So self-express and embody truth. So the sun in our chart is our own personal radiance, our ego essentially. So maybe this is a sign to get an ego check, or just really try to focus on shining your light out into the world and focusing on that rather than focusing on the union at this time. You could also look at where your sun is placed in your chart to see where maybe some transformations is good to look at right now. So for example, maybe you have sun in the 10th house. And I'm mentioning the 10th house because it did come up twice here in the reading. Sun in the 10th house of our career, our ambitions, life mission essentially. Maybe you need a rebirth in that area. So just double check where your sun is in your chart. And that is a good way, again, remember to look into the stars if you haven't really looked at all your houses and really try to understand things. It is really interesting to look into astrology actually, and I love talking about astrology here. So maybe if you get more well versed on astrology, you would go down a rabbit hole like I did when I first started on my astrology journey. Think about it in a happy way. Like I just got this wave of happiness because of thinking back where when we did come back, we both individually had all these new hobbies and new skills to share with each other. So just keep focusing on yourself, your hobbies, your skills, and just keep manifesting your love back into your life, because unconditional love is irreplaceable and will always magnetize itself back together. That is my honest belief. Okay, I love you so much. That's actually all I have for you today. But before you go, please leave me a comment down below and tell me what resonated for you. My love language is words of affirmations, so I love to read your comments. Even a quick like back on your comment is me sending you so much love and so much light. If you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to give me a big like down below and subscribe to my channel. I post readings like this one every single week. I hope to see you here again on Moon Sanctuary. Until next time.